Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Being the Odds. It is March 16th, right after the bracket has been revealed, and we're going to go game by game and give you guys my unfiltered bracket. Now, here's the deal. There's not against the spread picks. As you all know, these are straight up. And obviously, the betting lines are going to be completely different as far as what I pick in some cases. But as of right this second, I'm going to give you guys my knee-jerk reaction to the bracket. Also, by the way, why on planet Earth is UNC in over West Virginia? Makes absolutely no sense. UNC's AD is on the committee, so no surprise there. But we're going to go one by one. We're going to go through every single play that is available to us in this bracket. It's so beautiful. We're so hyped to be back. I love this time of year. It's the best. So we're gonna go one by one. I'm gonna give you guys a straight up pick for every single game, and y'all are gonna see my perfect bracket. Because guys, all you have to do is copy my bracket. All you have to do is copy it, and you're gonna win $1 million or whatever they're giving away for a perfect bracket this year, like a car or 500 grand or whatever the hell it is. But we're gonna get this thing done. So first things first, I'm not gonna spend a ton of time. We're gonna go with Auburn, obviously, not even a question here. Now, Louisville Creighton's interesting. I feel bad for Louisville being in a spot where they're an 8 seed. Doesn't make really any sense. I don't really understand that one at all, especially with UNC possibly being an 11 seed if they end up winning in the first four. Creighton's been good. I don't think Pop Mize is going to play, so I'm going to roll with Louisville, especially since they're playing in Kentucky, which is obviously a pretty big, a pretty big deal here. Next, I'm going to go with Michigan over UC San Diego. This right here, guys, is the most obvious upset pick. I've watched, right now I'm recording, it's like 7:23 p.m. I've watched the coverage and people are literally saying Michigan's right for an upset. They're not. Because these picks that people make where it's this is the trendy team. This is what's going to happen, right? They never get this right ever. Like they never get it right. So to me, this right here has Michigan written all over it. UC Indiana, at least to me in my gambling brain. Next, we got A&M and Yale. This one's really interesting to me. Now, spread wise, I'd love to see. I mean, personally, I would absolutely love to see who ends up get like what the line ends up being in this spot. I think right now it's probably going to be like A&M like -8, -9, something like that. I don't really know exactly the line. I'm pulling it up right now on my phone here just to see what the line actually is going to be here. Yeah, 7.5 points right now. The public is going to probably be very much on Yale, I would assume, because those Ivy Leagues always win. I love betting on the Ivy League, especially early on in a tournament. But A&M, man, they're really, really good. I mean, I'm going all chalk as of now. That'll obviously change, but I like A&M here over Yale. A&M Michigan's gonna be an awesome game. Ole Miss gets San Diego State or UNC. I don't care who ends up winning here. Ole Miss is gonna get the dub. This isn't even a question. UNC is a fraudulent team. I think it will be a San Diego State versus Ole Miss, but Ole Miss is gonna get it here. Iowa State, Lipscomb. I mean, here's the deal, guys. We're looking at Iowa State. They're just going to get it done. I don't know anything about Lipscomb other than the fact that they think they're from Kentucky. Other than that, I like Iowa State here. Marquette, New Mexico. New Mexico's going to get the dub. This is easy here. New Mexico plays an extremely fast pace. Cam Jones is the only offense that Marquette has on Tyler Kolek's in the league. I love New Mexico here. They should be able to get the upset here over Marquette. I'd be interested to see what the gambling line is right now, as far as like who's favored and who's not. I'm looking at it right now here. Yeah, Marquette's favored by 3.5. But I think New Mexico gets the upset here. Obviously, Michigan State's going to be over Bryant. Now, we're going to jump down to the West here. I'm obviously Florida, Norfolk State. By the way, Norfolk State, for those of you guys who know, actually the dumbest school in America, just so y'all know. UConn versus old Oklahoma here. This is going to be great. And I think UConn's a better team. So I'm going to go with UConn here over Oklahoma. Oklahoma started out really well. The rest of the year they got beat down, but that you could make an argument it's SEC schedule, but I like UConn here. Memphis, Colorado State is really interesting here because as of right this second, there's only two games where a lower seed is favored above against a higher rated seed. And right now, Colorado State is the favorite against Memphis. Now, we got to see if Tyrese Hunter is going to play. I really like this Memphis team, man. Dane Danger is really awesome. PJ Haggerty's great. Penny's a great coach. And I also think Colorado State's going to win because it's not even it's one of these things now where when they're favored by 2.5 points, Colorado State is. This is an instance at where essentially like an unranked team is favored against a ranked team. That's kind of what it feels like to me here. I think Colorado State gets it done. I think this is the right play for them here. Maryland Grand Canyon is going to be interesting because Grand Canyon is awesome. They are really good. They're like 23 and 8 against the spread with their new coach here. I think that Maryland has the size. They've got the. I think Maryland, with how they went out against Michigan, is going to be hungry. I like them to win, but depending on the spread here, we got to look at the spread here. I'm up for gambling anyway, but straight up, I think Maryland will win, but I don't think they'll cover. I don't even know what the number will be, but I don't think they're going to cover. Missouri versus Drake. Very interesting here. Drake has all these D2 guys that transferred in, new coach, new everything, and they've been great this whole year. They played at a really slow pace. Missouri, on the other hand, can't defend anyone, but they scored at a really, really fast pace. I'm gonna roll with Drake. I think they take down Missouri. I don't think Missouri is as good as people think. I think Tony Perkins is great. I like their coach, but this to me just feels like I think Drake's gonna get an upset here. Texas Tech, UNC Wilmington, very similar vein to Missouri and Drake here, but I think Texas Tech gets the win. UNC, but this game is going to be really close, and I also think the game's going to go way over. So I like the Texas Tech here. Straight up. Arkansas, Kansas. This one's tough. I'm rolling with Kansas. Coach Cal doesn't it gets when he goes against a legitimately good coach. But by the way, this match is gonna be great. Calipari, Self, Kansas, Arkansas. But for me, this right here has Kansas on it. I mean, Kansas has a really good team. They haven't played as good as they had in previous years. It's weird seeing Kansas as a 7 seed, by the way. Like really weird seeing them as a 7 seed. However, with Kansas being there, with Kansas being there, they seem to be more healthy. I like them to win against Arkansas, and Arkansas just I don't know, they're like a year away from being awesome, but I like Kansas here. Obviously, St. John's are going to take over Omaha, obviously. Now let's jump over to the I think it's the Midwest. Obviously, you're going to Houston. Gonzaga, Georgia. It's going to be Zags. Georgia, hot team to start the year against the spread. They have not been that great since that point, since the start of the year. And they're great defensively. I think they got an SEC type bump here. But Gonzaga, man, they've had a lot of close calls this year where they've lost to teams they shouldn't have lost to. But this team is really good, and how they played against St. Mary's is really, really, really a big factor here because they blew them out. By the way, big play for us. By the way, huge play was Gonzaga minus 3.5. That's probably that was my biggest bet of conference tournament weekend. By the way, Clemson, McNeese, man, oh God, I'm gonna take Clemson. They were great last year. McNeese, I don't really know too much about them, but I'm gonna roll with Clemson as of right this second. Purdue versus High Point. We're going to take Purdue. High Point. Actually, you know what? No, we're going to take an upset here. I think High Point gets it done. I think High Point gets it done. They were a great team in the Big South. Great team. And they ended up, I mean, they were dominating their conference all day long. They have a nice win streak coming in. They have great third and fourth year guys. I'm taking High Point here. Now, Texas and Xavier. Depends on who wins here against Illinois, right? So it's a first four game. That's gonna be a great first four game, Texas and Xavier, by the way. However, when we're looking at this, I believe that if Texas gets in, you know what? I don't really think either of these teams are that good. I'm going to roll with Illinois here. I mean, Texas and Xavier, that's going to be a great first four game. But to me, Xavier, I don't even know how they got in. I just don't know how they got in. They weren't that good this whole year. Texas, they got the SEC bump a little bit. They've got a good play. Texas, I think if Texas beats Xavier, I think they have the best match against Illinois. Those are just be ugly, ugly, ugly uniform combo there. The committee should have done a way better job, by the way, way better job doing that. But I like Illinois here. Get it done, whoever gets through. Kentucky, I'm taking Kentucky obviously over Troy. UCLA, Utah State, give me UCLA, and then Tennessee over Wofford. Next, we're gonna go up to the East. All right, so Duke, we're just gonna start easy here. Duke easy. Mississippi State Baylor is a really interesting game. And I really think this is gonna be one of the more entertaining games of the whole tournament because Baylor's got VJ Edgecombe and a lot of really good transfer guys that they haven't meshed until later in the season. They've played very, very well. Mississippi State, on the other hand, is a fraudulent SEC team that can score, but they are pretty good. By fraudulent, I mean like they have no chance of winning the tournament, but they are still an SEC team. They played an SEC schedule and they're still quite good. Man, I mean this is a toss up for me here. I think I'm going to roll with Baylor because they have better guard play. That's really what we have to look at too is guard play, guard play, guard play. I'm rolling Baylor here against Mississippi State. Oregon versus Liberty. I'm just going to go with Oregon. Liberty sucks, dude. I live in Virginia. Trust me on that one. They're not gonna beat Oregon. Arizona Akron's gonna be really interesting. I think Arizona's gonna get a win here. Akron MAC champs, but Arizona's a better team. Arizona took Houston the wire, and Arizona's like legitimately great. So I'm taking Arizona here. BYU, VCU, very interesting here because BYU is a high scoring team. VCU will just, I mean, they're just they are just elite defensively. But BYU, but here's at the end of the day, guard play matters, and if you got to be able to score. And BYU is going to be able to score against VCU. They're really good. And plus, after their matchup with Houston, which Houston blew them out, by the way, with Houston minus 6.5, gave it for free for everyone on Instagram, just so you know. Um, because BYU had that bad shooting performance against Houston. I think they're going to bounce back here in this game. So I like BYU here over VCU. I think they win this game comfortably. Wisconsin, Montana, dude, this is going to be tough. I think Montana's a live dog. I would love to see really quick the spread on Montana and Wisconsin because that is a really interesting matchup because Montana has I think the longest winning streak in the country. I'm pretty sure. And they're also like really, really good offensively here. They don't have the lineup yet for this. Oh, here we go. There's 16 and a half point dogs against Wisconsin. That to me just seems like it's a little disrespectful for Montana, but I'm gonna roll with Wisconsin. They'll probably end up winning. St. Mary's and Vandy. I'm rolling Vandy. I know it's SEC. I get it. I understand it. I know. But St. Mary's, I think what Gonzaga did to them, I think Gonzaga popped their balloon. I just don't. And plus, if Vanderbilt can get off to a lead, St. Mary's does not have the offensive prowess to be able to keep up with this team. So I like Vandy here to get the upset. And then we'll go with Bama. They're gonna obviously beat Robert Morris. I don't know who it is. Let's stay in this region though. Let's do the round of 32. Duke over Baylor. As long as Cooper Flag's good to go, I'm taking Duke. I'm assuming Cooper's good. If he is, then we're good here. Oregon, Arizona, going Arizona. I think Oregon's a little overrated. Arizona has gotten way better throughout the year, and Caleb Love will be the best player on the court, which is a really big deal, obviously, you're talking about college basketball. The guard play for Arizona is elite. Next, BYU Wisconsin is very similar, although this game they might score 250 points. I mean, this game's going to be awesome when it eventually happens. To me, I think BYU is going to get it done. Tanjay for Wisconsin's great. But I just think BYU is going to get it done, man. They play great. They're really solid defensively, and they score a lot. I mean, I like BYU here. I think they're going to be able to get it done. Bama over Vandy. I mean, Bama's just going to overpower them. I don't really see any. I don't see any way that Vanderbilt wins. I just don't see it happening. Next, let's jump down back to the Midwest. Houston and Zaga is going to be sick. I mean, it's going to be awesome. That's going to be such a good matchup if and when it happens. And Gonzaga, I mean, they've got the championship like culture in Gonzaga. They've got so many good players. I mean, they do. But Houston, man, with LJ Cryer running the show, they've got Sampson, the coach, is great. They're so relentless defensively and rebounding wise. Straight up, going with Houston. Talk to me about the spread later on. Clemson High Point. We're gonna go with Clemson. They're going to beat High Point. They've got good guards. The Hunter brothers are great. Shefflin's awesome. They should be able to dominate down low, which is big. Illinois, Kentucky. I'm rolling with Illinois. I think they get to the Sweet 16. I think Kentucky's fraudulent. They start out the year great. I don't know how they're a 3 seed. I don't understand that one at all. I do not get it. I do not understand it. But Illinois should be able to get through Kentucky because Kentucky plays no defense. Illinois doesn't play much defense either. But Illinois should be able to beat Kentucky, so I'm rolling with Illinois here. UCLA, Tennessee, great game. God, these are some good matchups. They hooked us up in the second round. Tennessee, though, I'm gonna roll with Tennessee here over UCLA. They're a better overall team. I would be surprised UCLA pulled it out because Tennessee, Rick Barnes, choke city. But I like Tennessee here to beat UCLA. Next, we're gonna go over here to the West region. St. John's, Kansas. St. John's all day. St. John's is going to beat them up in the interior, and they have way better guard play. I like Rick Pitino more like Bill Self, and the Kansas team is not the same Kansas team as prior years. Texas Tech and Drake, this game is going to be really close. I think that Drake has a legitimate chance to get to the Sweet 16 without question. However, in this specific instance, I'm rolling with Texas Tech over Drake. Although Drake is going to be, I think that game's going to go down the wire, and I would not be surprised one bit if Drake ends up beating Texas Tech because Drake is that good. But if I had to put money on it, with straight up, I would go Texas Tech because they have more talent, and JT Toppin's an absolute badass. Maryland, Colorado. I'm gonna roll with the UMD, the Turtles. My fiance went to UMD. Got to roll with them here. Plus, just size wise, they're so good on the interior, and with how they finished against Michigan, like I said, when they went against Canyon here, I think they're going to be able to get it done against Colorado State, who will be a tough test. Florida UConn, man, great matchup. I mean, what are we? This is a good bracket. There's sometimes brackets you look at, you're like, like this is a very good bracket as far as matchups go and just big names. So Florida's going to kill them. UConn, this is not the same UConn team the last couple of years, and Florida is going to curb stomp them. They're going to say bite the curb, and they're going to stomp right over their fucking head. So love that. Michigan State, New Mexico. We're going with Michigan State. Michigan State's too good defensively, and New Mexico can't defend. So Michigan State should get the dub there. Ole Miss, Iowa State. Now here's the deal: if Taman Lipsey doesn't play, if he's still hurt for some reason or another, Ole Miss is very live in this, and I mean very, very live. Um, and Matthew Morrell is a great shooter, great scorer. They got good size. I like Chris Beard. And I just don't know about Taman Lipsey, so I'm gonna have to go with Ole Miss here. I'm gonna have to go with Ole Miss. Taman Lipsey's really good, and he's hurt. If Taman Lipsey's playing, I would take Iowa State all day long. I just would. I would take them all day long over Ole Miss, but I don't know about his health. So right now, I'm gonna roll with Ole Miss. And by the way, keep in mind, betting it may change because we know the stats a little later. But right now, I really like Ole Miss. We're gonna go net Michigan, Texas A&M, another killer matchup here. I hate to go chalk. I'm gonna go chalk again. I'm gonna go A&M here. I think that Wade Taylor. You got to look at guard play, and Wade Taylor is so freaking good. It's insane. And Henry Coleman's a great center. He'll be able to match up well with Michigan 7-footers. And I think Buzz Williams is a better coach than. Oh my God, I'm blanking so hard on Michigan's coach's name. I think he's better than Dusty May, better than Dusty May. And Texas A&M, they're really really good, so I love them here. Auburn's gonna be a really tough matchup because they're playing in Kentucky, which is really tough. But like Texas A&M should have the home court advantage here playing in Kentucky. But Auburn's gonna end up pulling it out. But this game's gonna be really close, and Auburn might that's a huge scare for them. Next, Auburn A&M. Auburn's going to win because of the rematch, because A&M beat them like right before the end of the season as the number one team in the country. By the way, we gave y'all Texas A&M plus 5.5 members only, just saying. But even so, Auburn's going to get some revenge on A&M, and then Michigan State's going to get Ole Miss here. Next, we're going to jump down to the West. Florida UMD. This game's going to be a freaking battle, and I mean a battle. It's going to be big on the inside, but I'm going to roll with Florida here to get it done. Next, I'm going to St. John's, Texas Tech. I think this game's actually kind of a blowout. I think St. John's blows them out. I think St. John's matches up really well with Texas Tech, defensively, coaching, all that good stuff. So I like St. John's here over Texas Tech. Next, we'll jump over to the Midwest. I think Houston gets it done against Clemson. It'll be tight, but Houston has better guards. LJ Cryer, already said it. Then we have Illinois, Tennessee. I think Illinois wins. And it's not because Tennessee is such a bad team. I just don't trust Rick Barnes until they show me that I should be able to trust them. Then I'm gonna roll with Illinois here, and they're just so good offensively that I'm not sure if Tennessee's gonna be able to keep up. Because outside of Zakai Ziegler, I mean, they don't really have the same sort of offensive firepower Illinois does. So I like Illinois here to beat Tennessee. Next, we're gonna jump up here, Duke and Arizona. This is going to be great, but we're going to start with BYU Alabama first. I believe here, looking at this game, I think Bama gets it done. And I think it's a 2-point game the whole way. I don't know. I think this game is about as close as you can get. Very similar to Wisconsin BYU. I think they score 220 points between the two of them. But this game, I was very close to betting BYU, or I'm betting, I should say, picking BYU to win here. But I like Bama here. Duke, Arizona. This game's gonna be really close too. I think Cooper Flag by this point should be healthy. If he does, I'm rolling with Duke. Next, we got Duke and Bama. This game is about as electric as you could possibly ask for here. And with Caleb Proctor, Cooper Flag, Caleb Foster, and all these boys in Duke against Bama with Sears and Nelson and all these guys. You have to look at something here where I think the guards for Bama are better. Cooper Flag's the best player, but he's a 3 or 4. Like he's a small forward, power forward. Bama's got the guards. And Bama also has Cliff Amore, who's gonna be able to clog the lane. I'm gonna take Bama over Duke. And I know college basketball fans would be all pissy about, oh, they want to see Duke. Most of y'all who have hearts want Bama to win, probably. But I think Bama's gonna beat Duke, and it's gonna be awesome, and it's gonna be a killer game. Next, Houston, Illinois. Great story for Illinois in this bracket. Houston gets it done. No surprise here. Houston's just too good. Houston's going to be able to choke down on Illinois' defense, offense, excuse me. And I don't think Illinois will be able to guard Houston. So we're on here. St. John's in Florida. This one's a tough one here because Florida has all the momentum in the world. SEC champs. And St. John's, Big East champs. And they have all the momentum in the world too. But Florida has too much shooting. When it comes down to it, three is more than two. I don't know if you guys know. Three is more than two. And Florida shoots the three at a great rate, and St. John's just doesn't. I think this game is a battle, goes down the wire, but I'm rolling with Florida. And then we got Michigan State and Auburn. To me, we got to look at guard play because Auburn has the front line advantage, in my opinion. But Michigan State, I think, gets it done. And I'm rolling with Michigan State here to take it to go to the Final Four in San Antonio. Now we have Florida, Michigan State, Izzo versus Florida. Florida's just a better team overall. So I just think I think eventually Michigan State's going to have to score more than 80 points, and Florida is going to be able to get it done here. So I'm going to roll with Florida. And then we got Houston, Alabama. Bama, man, they are so good. But I'm going to roll with Houston here to get a win against Bama. It's going to be tight, but Houston's going to be too good defensively. And then you got Houston and Florida here. And to me, what this really comes down to is that Houston's better on the perimeter. And I think they're going to be able to guard the perimeter. I think they're going to be able to guard Clayton and those guys. So I'm going to roll with Houston to get the dub. Now, the total points, I think we're going to go with 147. That's what the line's going to be. I think the line would be around here. I'll just do this. Fine, whatever. 30 grand. And that's what we're going to roll with. That's our bracket here, guys. So, by the way, if you want to, we had a great conference championship week. We went plus 10.19 units on the membership in 5 days. So you absolutely see an average of 2 units, one per day. If you want to get that, if you want to become a member and be able to like win like our members are, become a member at zdmbets.com/picks. The website is linked in the pin comp below. But guys, let's all get a perfect bracket. Let's all win 50 grand from ESPN. And look out for our pick videos. We have pick videos every single day. So look out for those. And those are out every day between 10 and 11 a.m. Eastern. So I will see y'all later, and let's go win some money.